Terve vaan. Mä kävin tossa pari viikkoa takaperin Ruotsissa vähän kattelemassa NHL 14. Pääsin haastattelemaan pelin päätuottajaa Agostinia. Ja oikeastaan tää haastattelu on semmonen, mikä tuli vedettyä sellainen on the spot. Ja mä en oo kovin tyytyväinen tähän laatuun, mitä tästä haastattelusta oli, mutta nyt kun nassyt on ohi, mä oon siellä päässyt vähän harjoittelemaan haastattelemista, niin ajattelin, että mä voisin tänä videona silti lyödä teille nähtäväksi tässä välissä, joka on ihan mielenkiintoisia pointteja tulee kaverilta, mutta mun haastattelutekniikat oli aika hakusessa. Ensimmäinen haastattelu, mitä mä oon oikeastaan ikinä tehnyt kameran edessä, ja kysymykset ei niin hyviä, englantia vähän ruosteessa sanoisinko, niin ei ihan parasta laatua, mitä mä olisin itseltäni halunnut. Ja siinä oli aika paljon porukkaa kyttäämässä sitä, kun meikäläinen haastattelee, joten mulla ei oikeastaan muuta sanottavaa. Että jatkossa haastattelut pääasiallisesti suomen kielellä. Jos tulee tilanteet, että mä joudun haastattelemaan englanniksi, niin sitten koitan skarppaa vähän enemmän ja miettiä sen asian etukäteen, eikä sellainen lennosta, että kaikin puolin mä en näe, että haastattelu meni kovin hyvin. Asioiden jälkeen, mitä niitä haastatteluja tuli tehtyä, niin vielä enemmän näyttää siltä, että tämä haastattelu ei kovin hyvin mennyt, mutta ei siinä mitään. Tässä on hieman puhetta NHL 14. Jatketaan siitä. Heipä hei ja tervetuloa tänne EAN-studiolle Tukholmaan. Me ollaan täällä NHL 14 katsomassa. Ja mulla on täällä Agostini. Hän on päätuottajana tässä pelissä ja tulee vastailemaan muutamiin kysymyksiin. Andy,
yes.
Thank you for having me.
No problem.
NHL 14. Few new improvements. Live the life mode. Sounds fantastic. What does it actually do?
We can't talk about Live the Life because we're going to be announcing that in the next few weeks.
Okay. Well, let's step on to the collision physics. Tackles look very nice, but what about sticks?
The sticks for the collisions? In
Yeah.
terms of colliding with each other, we've always worked on making the game authentic. So stick collisions are something that we've always tried to move towards, and we've done that in the past. And it's one of those things that we are continuing to try and get in the game properly. The thing is, we're finding that the way collisions work, sticks colliding with each other would cause a lot of issues in terms of how users interact with their players. So what we try to do is minimize the frustration of the sticks touching all the time, because in real hockey you just move your stick out of the way. In a video game you only have so much interaction with the stick. So we're going to continue working on that to try and get that in properly in the game, and I think you're going to be seeing that in the near future.
Okay, I just played a match and it looked like one of the sticks just bumped into one of the players' leg and bounced off. Was that intentional or was it a mistake?
No, it's probably intentional that if the stick bumps off a leg, it's going to happen. But we have the interactions of the stick and the actual game. We have different varying levels of it on purpose so that we could maintain the user having fun of the product and not getting frustrated where the stick is bouncing off everything. So yeah, you can bump a stick off a guy's leg. Sometimes you get a penalty because of it. So.
Okay, then that's a thing. Enforcer engine. Will CPU players instigate a fight without you in the interaction part?
Yes, so this year The engine itself will allow the fight to happen without you actually accepting a fight. In the past, it was always you had to accept to fight, and it really wasn't realistic, as sometimes players get upset with each other and they grab each other and they start to fight. What we wanted to do was make it so that it felt more natural to hockey. So if someone gets a big hit on a star player, someone's going to walk over and say, no, you can't do that, I'm going to protect him. So you're going to see the CPU come in and try and start a fight, or start a fight with you, and all you're going to have to do is right away get ready to fight, because you're not going to have that accept the fight.
Okay, well, do you have to fight? Can the CPU player do the fighting for you if he is the one who instigated the fight?
Your CPU? If your CPU player can fight for you instead of you having to fight?
Yeah, well, if I don't want to fight and the CPU player wants to fight, then why should a player, when you want to play hockey and your CPU player goes and fights, could the game just go on and they'll be fighting in it? Just.
Oh, so you're saying one of your CPU players will go and get into a fight while you're controlling someone else? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Okay. You will end up taking over that player to fight, but he will start the fight without your interaction. So at the end of the day, you're going to have to have the fun part of fighting, but you're not actually going to start the actual encounter with the other opponent.
Okay. The true performance skating, does it before it didn't show if your player was skillful in skating or if he was unskilled? It wasn't shown in the animation. Does this new upgraded true performance skating allow that in sizes, skills? Does it variate the animations?
The animations, not so much. What it will do is every hockey player that's professional should be able to do everything at quite a high level. The difference between the top player and his skating versus even a fourth line player in a league is not as drastic as we think. So what we do is the animations are the same, but you're going to notice that the speed of him turning, the speed of him moving left and right, or moving forward, you're going to notice differences in how fast they can do certain things. Unlike, if I go on the ice, turning is a major obstacle for me. So you would see animations that look very poor if I was doing it. But every player in a professional league would be able to do the turns and moves. It's just how fast and how smoothly they would do them.
So there's not a possibility for unsmoothing some players, or making them slower. It seems they are unskilled.
It will feel more like they're unskilled just because of their slowness in doing that. So you're going to notice the difference between a top player like a Sidney Crosby and a third line defenseman who might not be able to turn as quick. So now when Crosby goes by him, it's harder for him to keep up. So you're going to see that difference, and that's what you want to notice in gameplay, so that you can figure out, it's a defenseman that I could go around and get past him, so that's I'm going to try. If it was a top end defenseman, you probably couldn't do that move.
Okay, for the last question, one touch DX. How does this thing work? What makes it different from the old DKing mode?
The old system needed about 3 inputs. You needed to hit the left bumper, left trigger, and then actually move the controller, and it would actually cause a move to happen. The moves themselves were quite advanced, so it would take 2 or 3 seconds of planning to know, okay, in 3 seconds I'm going to try this. Well, with the new collision physics and the hitting, we wanted to make it so that it was easier for a user to try and get by someone without actually having to plan everything out. So the balancing act that we did was, if you're going to come for a hit, there should be a quick way for you to try and avoid that hit. So we added another layer of deeks that actually provide a user, whether it's an advanced user or a casual user, the ability to try and go around somebody. So just hit one button and move the direction you want to go, and your player will actually attempt to go around the hit or make a move to go around somebody. So it's just another layer to simplify that part of the game. And in that way, from there, you can then practice your advanced moves to try and get better.
Okay. When will the game be out, and on what platforms can we see it?
September 13th on Xbox and PS3.
Okei. Eli siinä oli oikeastaan kaikki kysymykset. NHL 14 tulee 12. 12. 13. Syyskuussa. Me nähdään ensi kerralla.
Mä haluan hieman vielä koppaa tähän loppuun Be a Prota, siitä me tai Live the Life. Siitä me ei ole vieläkään saatu mitään infoa. Se on harmi. Mä tuun varmaan tekemään jonkunnäköistä videoa sitten, kun me saadaan lisää tietoa tuosta Be a Pro Live the Life ominaisuudesta. Mutta NHL jää toistaiseksi sellaiseen pieneen limboon ja odotellaan, että me saadaan demo ulos. Mä pääsen paljon enemmän puhumaan pelistä sitten, koska sitten pääsen vähän enemmän pelaamaankin kyseistä peliä. Mut hei, kiitos, että katsoit videon. Toivottavasti ei ollut ihan kauheata paskaa. Saitte jotain irti tästä videosta. Jatkossa mä tuun kyselemään vähän enemmän etukäteen teiltä, että mitä te haluatte kuulla näiltä esimerkiksi pelintekijöiltä. Riippuu tietenkin vähän, että mitä peli ollaan menossa katsomaan ja että mikä on semmoinen asia, mistä te haluatte kuulla lisää infoa ennen kuin tällaisia haastatteluja tehdään. Mutta kokemuksena ihan mukava juttu, vaikka vähän tuli jäädettyä paikoitelle ja vastaavaa, mutta ei se mitään. Kokemuksella virheestä oppii ja kokemusta saa vaan tekemällä. Mut hei, vielä on muutama assy-veto tulossa. Siellä on pari tullut jo. Käykää ihmeessä tsekkaamassa niitä. Ja ikävä kyllä retkusta ei tuu haastattelua, että se oli sen verran pieni visiitti, että se jäi oikeastaan siihen meidän pikkusketsiin, mikä siinä oli sen yhden videon lopussa. Mut hei, ei mulla muuta. Kuten aina, me nähdään taas ensi kerralla. Hei hei.